In May 26th, you did a famous tweet. I'll speak soon with no filter. You ready to speak?
100%.
Ivan Toney! Ivan Toney!
Ivan Toney handed an 8-month ban.
Seismic news for the Premier League.
That sums it all up!
Football is brutal. Like 15, being rejected at Leicester, 18, I got to Wolves, got a squad number, took the pictures. Out of nowhere, the club said, we're not looking to sign you no more. You have scoliosis in your back.
It hasn't affected your game.
Toney! Ivan Toney!
I don't feel like it has. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I'm built different.
Ivan Toney has won his first England call-up.
You missed out on the final World Cup squad. Do you know why?
The allegations, somebody's out to get me, to stop me from playing for England.
Ivan Toney
has been suspended for 8 months.
with breaching betting rules.
I read the whole FA report. You acknowledged that you lied in that meeting with the FA.
I didn't lie, I just couldn't really remember.
You admit to 232 breaches.
Majority of those I didn't do, but I took responsibility, so the whole process could get cleared up.
But the bit that I just struggle with is that using someone else to do the bets. You said to your mate, I can't have that one in my name. Bets for your team to lose.
It's a bigger story.
What impact was it having on your life?
With me, I never show nothing, I never show emotion. So there's been times I'm in a room on my own, just look into thin air and just, it hurt. But when I'm back, I'll do the talk on my feet.
You're going to get back to football. Clubs are going to come knocking.
The next club I go to, if I was to move, it would be...
I always believe that to understand a person, you have to understand their earliest years. I kind of see our earliest years as the oven that we're formed in. So if you take me back to your earliest years, what do I need to know about you to understand the man you are today? What were the characteristics of that environment that shaped you?
Just out the front of where I live, it's like on the front is a park. Mm-hmm. And like the older guys would just be out the front playing, and there's me at 7, 8 trying to get involved, and these guys are 15, 16 and they were playing rough. Mm-hmm. No matter if you're 8, 9, 10 trying to play with them, they're going to be rough. So that kind of helped me into today's game, how I am now, progress a lot quicker. And even when I was 16, breaking through at Northampton, I kind of had that bashing around at a young age by the older guys. So being 16, getting bashed around by men, let's say, I was kind of used to it.
What about hard work? Were you a hard-working man at that age?
In terms of running, and I never liked running. I was always the lazy one at the back of the group, because I knew when it's time to get on the pitch, I would score goals. But we all know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So it's if you got the talent and you can work on the hard work and put them both together, then you give yourself the best chance of becoming a top athlete.
And you put the work in to improve that part of your game and attitude?
Yeah, I had to. Because when I was training, when I was at Leicester, I got told I wasn't getting a scholarship there. So then I didn't really want to play football as much, because being rejected at Leicester, it's kind of okay, let me just chill for now. But then my parents were just go to Northampton, because there was a game that we played Northampton when I was at Leicester, and then I think Northampton said, if anybody gets released from them, let us know. I think Leicester must have put me in touch with Northampton, and I was kind of I'm in an hour and about going, but then I ended up going, and it was kind of everybody's playing for a scholarship. And then it was on the last day, everybody already knows they're getting a scholarship, and I was the only one that wasn't told. So everybody's in the dressing room talking, we've got scholarship. And I'm there still on trial thinking, when am I getting told? And it wasn't until the next morning on the meeting, the first meeting with all the scholarship players joined up, I got a phone call and said, he's got a scholarship, we'd like him to come down. And I think that point was kind of okay, I got a scholarship, this is my chance now.
But there was a moment there where you were, because of the rejection from Leicester, you were considering doing something else with your life.
Yeah, I feel like nobody likes rejection. Being rejected is not the best feeling. And it being basically you're not good enough to be playing football. How I saw it, you're not good enough to be playing football. Even though it was just, I'm not good enough for Leicester. I might be good enough somewhere else, somebody else. might value what my qualities a lot more than Leicester did.
It's hard to see that in the moment, though, isn't it?
It's a lot, yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard. And
how old? 16?
it was like 15.
15.
Yeah. It's kind of like you don't really want that rejection again. It's like a kind of fear of getting that again. Then when I did, like I said, when I got the scholarship, I just knew it wasn't happening again.
Because your journey through football just generally has been a real climb. You know, it's been a real climb. Like, and also I reflect on the fact that so many kids at that age, 16 years old, they get a rejection and they don't bounce back from it. And if they don't make it to the very top, they'll often take that badly and pursue a different career path. But you were rejected at 16, you persevered, you got into the team at Northampton, you made a good impression there. And then eventually you end up at Newcastle at what, 19?
18.
18 years old. How was that experience?
It was crazy. First time away from home at such a young age, 18 is like... And as well, you thought you was a man. Like, from League 2, there was talks of you going to a Premier League team. And like, I would never in the Northampton changing room feel like I was a man. Like, there was talks going on, but nothing's done until it's done. So it's kind of like... Actually, before I was going to Newcastle, I was supposed to go to Wolves.
Right.
But I've got to Wolves. I've met everybody, went in the changing rooms, got my number on, took the pictures. Then come to the contract side. And then I think there was a bit of talk with my agent and the club on certain things, and then it related back to us. It was all just confused. Me and my family didn't know what was going on. And then out of nowhere, the club come out and said, we're not looking to sign you no more due to you having scoliosis in your back. So we was so confused from getting the squad number, meeting all the players, meeting all the staff, and then for them to come out and say, your scoliosis in your back, we're not looking to sign you. It's kind of like, is that really the reason? Is there more behind it? But then, from having to go back to Northampton, like I've said my goodbyes at Northampton, and I'm supposed to be going signing for Wolves. Then the next day I'm back in Northampton and training with the boys. Everybody's like, what's happening? And the manager sat me down and said, listen, don't dwell on that. I'm sure other things will come into place. And I think a few weeks later, Newcastle were interested and I went there.
Scoliosis in your back. What is scoliosis, and were they aware that you had scoliosis?
I feel like they was aware, because before we set up to see a specialist, because they I feel like they wanted to know what was going on, how bad it was, because I think certain scoliosis, it stops you from walking at a certain age and just gets worse and worse. But I feel like we did see a specialist. He said you'd be lucky to be walking at 28 still.
Really?
Yeah. And then I was just like, it doesn't really register. Like, you think at the time at 18, I'm thinking, well, I'm fine now. I'm enjoying football now, so it don't really register. But being 27, closer to 28, you kind of think, well, I'm strong, fit, and healthy, touch wood continuously. So,
what is scoliosis?
Where your back's not straight. It's like got a slight
bend
curve.
in your back.
Yeah, bend.
It hasn't affected your game?
I don't feel like it has. And going back to moving to Newcastle, it's like going from League 2 to Premier League. It's crazy. Like, as soon as I went there, at Northampton, you get recognised, but it's not crazy. And then going to there, Newcastle, I'm in the hotel. Everybody's recognising me straight away. It's like a crowd outside the hotel waiting to see me, and it's kind of like, at 18, this is all happening. It's so fast.
And you're away from home as well.
Away from home.
Damn.
A long way as well.
What are you feeling when Newcastle make that phone call and they say they're interested in you and then you move there? What does it feel like as an 18-year-old? Because I can only imagine. I was always playing football when I was younger. I was always hoping a little bit to be a footballer. I knew I wasn't good enough, but I'm going with that whole got injured at 16 bullshit.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is crazy. this is so excited. Like, you want to tell everybody. You want to say, "Oh, I'm going here tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going here. I'm going here." But with me, how I am, nothing's done till it's done. Especially after the Wolves stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that was on the back of my mind. So I'm thinking, right, just wait until it's all sorted. Then you can tell everyone. When I'm so excited, I just want to tell this person, that person, this is happening. So it was crazy. My head was all over the place and thinking, I'm actually going to the Premier League. Like, I've made it. I'm here. But little did I know it was I far from made it.
What happened?
I feel like when you take that step, you get noticed more. You get more money. And you just do silly things. Like you get mixed in the wrong crowd, going out here and there, buying things you wouldn't normally buy. Just a bit naive. And as well, being away from my family, although they kept on telling me, don't do nothing silly, look after your money, this and that, you kind of think, okay, but they're not here to control what I've got hold of right now. I can spend it on this, I can spend it on that. Like, you just do things, like I said, things you never normally do. Like, we're getting personal shoppers to come to the house. And who do I think I am? Go to the shop and buy yourself stuff if you want to do that. So it's like these kind of things. But yeah, I think it didn't come at me fast. I wouldn't say that. I'd say just like a surprise kind of thing. Like I said, I thought I'd made it. So whatever happens, I'm fine. I'm in the Premier League.
What was the advice that you needed at that point that you didn't get? Like, if you could go back now and have a chat with Ivan and say, listen, bro, you arrive at Newcastle that day and you get a chance just to say a couple of things to him, what do you say?
I'll sit down and have a long chat with him. It will be a long chat. No, I think I'd just say, like, this is where the hard work starts. It's not finished. You can't pull it on cruise control. You got to go that extra gear. Like, yeah, I'm at a Premier League club, but I haven't played yet. I've not got continuous games under my belt to be saying, okay, I'm a Premier League player now. So it's like, I'd say to, a younger Ivan or anybody that's in that situation doing such a big jump, to say that's when the hard work starts.
Were you in cruise control, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I even was moving, I'd probably put a handbrake on.
Really?
Yeah, I just thought, I'm Premier League now. And as well, you've seen all the big boys, like, literally training there. It's like, yeah, I'm here now.
And you played 2 games before they loaned you out.
Yeah, I come off the bench twice against United and Chelsea.
And then you went on quite a long loan spell. Barnsley, Shrewsbury, Wigan, Scunthorpe. When you find out you're getting loaned out, how do you receive that as a player? I've always wondered this. When you're a young player in the club, you're in the Premier League, because I think there's a lot about Manchester United. As being a fan, we always loan out our younger lads. And I wonder how that's positioned to you as a player and how you receive it.
It's not the best feeling.
Okay.
Because at the time, it's kind of like, well, do you not want me here? Like, I'm here now. You want to send me away? Like,
yeah, and you got the personal shopper coming over. So
exactly. Yeah. So I need to sort some things out to be.
You can't be in Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I don't think you'll travel that far. But now, I feel like it's at that age you don't really think what you're gonna loan for. I mean, first team experience is probably the best at that age as well, and like knowing, like, because I feel like, no disrespect to youth team football, is cool, like tiki-taka, pretty football. Then going to League One, like I said, on loan, you're going to get bashed around. So you need to be ready for that physical battle. And I feel like going on loan definitely helped me. Looking back now, it helped me a lot. But at the time I was thinking, I don't need to go on loan. I'm ready to be playing in the Premier League. But I feel like from young, I've always had that. Like my dad always told me, no matter where you are, if you have that mentality that you're a Premier League player, but at the moment you're just on League One, that's fine. But if you don't have that mentality that I'm a Premier League player, so I don't need to try here, then it's not going to work out. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you have the mentality, I should be playing in the Prem. But right now, I'm playing here. That's fine. And I feel like you go long way to where I am now. I'm a Premier League player, and that bit of advice that my dad gave me was very key.
When you went off on loan, and they say, okay, you're leaving Newcastle now, does that take you out of cruise control and into like, right, I've got something to prove again?
It should have.
But it didn't.
But it didn't really, because I always believed that no matter what happened where I went, I'm going back to Newcastle. So no matter if I didn't play at all or played rubbish, I'm going back to Newcastle, back to the Premier League, but not knowing the effects that could have, or it did have in the end. Even though I think all the clubs I went to, bar one, I left top goal scorer. But it was like, I could have, looking back, I feel like I could have went that extra step further.
You had a good spell as well at Scunthorpe United. 6 goals and 15 appearances. Showed a huge promise while you're on your loan spells as a prolific goal scorer. And then at 22 years old, you transferred to Peterborough United after failing to secure a regular place at Newcastle. Now that must have been an interesting moment, because that's kind of like another knockback, innit? It goes back to like the Leicester rejection and stuff. That's like another step down. You've made it to the Prem, and now you've got to take a step down.
Yeah, it was a I wouldn't say a massive knockback. It was a knockback, but it was kind of like maybe a knockback I needed at the time, because like I remember sitting down with my dad and my agent at the time and saying, listen, like me and my dad are brutal. Whoever we work with, we want the honest truth. No matter if they say we don't want him, he's not good enough for us, I'd rather my agent tell me that. But how the relationship was with my agent at the time, he kind of sugarcoat things.
Right.
So me and my dad kind of had to get out of him. What did the club say? Like, just tell us, be honest. And his words were, the club don't think you're good enough already at this moment in time. So it was kind of like, in my head, it was like, okay, fine, no problem. It's time for me to go elsewhere, then regroup and restart. It wasn't like I was too old. It was just a knockback and setback that, like I said, at the time probably needed to kickstart my journey again.
Do you think Newcastle were right in saying that?
Possibly. Like, don't get me wrong, Newcastle are a great club. They've had some great players and doing very well at the moment. But I feel like I didn't really have a chance in the first team to prove if I was good enough. I feel personally, anyway. And to be fair, at the time was when Newcastle were fighting to stay up in the Premier League when Rafa Benitez first come in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of understandable. You wanted these players to try and keep them up.
We wanted experience and stuff more than like to be giving younger players a chance and stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, you can't really put so much responsibility on youth players or young players to keep you up in the Premier League. It's such a big ask, but I feel like maybe the following season it was kind of like, could he get a sniff? And I think he kind of brought his own players in and done his own thing, which is that's football. So
off you go to Peterborough. You're close to your family at this point.
Yeah,
which helps.
Closer. Yeah, I'm a mummy's boy at heart, so I need my mum around, close. And
did it change your attitude moving to Peterborough on like this whole cruise control thing?
It did, and especially when I first went to Peterborough, I wasn't playing. Like the first, I'd say 10 games, the strikers that were in front of me was scoring every game, assisting, playing well. But the manager at the time, Steve Evans, was just saying, don't worry, your chance will come. And when your chance comes, it's up to you to take it.
And your chance came.
Yeah.
And then, you took it.
Yeah, 100% took it.
You scored 24 goals in 32 League One games at Peterborough, which is insane.
Yeah, I feel like, the competition's all over the field, but especially as a striker, your job's to score goals. And especially when the other two are scoring goals, if you get that one sniff and you don't score, you're back out again, and it gives him another opportunity. The
director of football at Peterborough said you were an incredibly hard worker. He also said you were their best defender because you headed away 9 out of 10 corners.
I feel like, them games I kind of had a magnet on my head that was just bringing the ball towards me. But I think the hard work as well. Like when I'm loved by a manager, I feel like, and a club, I feel like it's in me to want to give back. I want to do a lot of things run through a brick wall for the manager that's wanted me in this position.
Did they become like proxy father figures to you in that regard? Because you're clearly a man that's close to your father. Do they kind of, you see what I'm saying? Is it a similar relationship, like where you want to do them proud?
Yeah, 100%. And especially when I signed, like when I first signed at Peterborough with Steve Evans, like the first time he spoke to me, it was like a friend, like a normal chat. Even though you have the respect as a manager, but he was saying, listen, I want you to come in, score goals, and go higher. Like the goals you score for us benefits you and us because we're going to go higher and you're going to go higher. So it's a win-win. And I think him putting an arm around me at that time, knowing I've come from a Premier League club and saying it's not really a knockback. This is where you kickstart your journey again. Having that, I think, definitely helped me.
And didn't you have, I read somewhere that you had a agreement with them, like a verbal agreement, that if a bigger club came knocking, they wouldn't stand in your way, Peterborough?
That probably was a verbal agreement, but if anybody knows the Peterborough staff and the owners, then they probably have different ideas. But I mean, I guess when I did go, that was the right timing. Like, every player thinks when there's a move on the cards, you want to try and rush it through, and if things aren't right, they're not right for a reason. Like, you can't rush good things. Good things aren't rushed. I think at the time that was a chance I could have went to somewhere. I was trying to rush it through, and it was like, don't worry.
Oh, really? So there was offers from other clubs?
There was offers from other clubs, yeah, but
big clubs?
Big-ish at the time.
Okay. Like so championship clubs?
Yeah, championship clubs. And he was saying, just be patient. You're going to get a better club. And I'm just there like, not throwing my toys out the pram, just be like, wow, this is a chance to move now. Who's to know what can happen, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up staying and I went to Brentford, which was probably the best choice in the end.
And around this time, I mean, just before then, 21 years old, you become a father for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, that's as well what helped me kickstart my journey as well, because I feel like I've got people to provide for. I have expensive taste as well, so it's either choosing my expensive taste or my family. So if I could score goals and help both, then it's perfect. So I think that's what helped me pick things up and had to provide for people.
Does that focus you? Because I'm not a dad yet, but it's around the corner for me, I'm sure. Does that focus your priorities in a sense? Like, does it make... Because I speak to my mates who have all had kids and they almost describe that moment when their baby first comes, they kind of see the world differently and their like responsibilities differently and stuff.
100%. 100%. Like, you can't do the things you normally do. You have to think baby first in all aspects.
Did it make your game better?
100, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
How?
It's in like, I want to make him proud.
Ah.
So when he's older, that's my dad. He's done this. He's doing this is this. So it's kind of like a pride thing as well as wanting to do well for my family and have a better lifestyle for everybody, not just me and my people I provide for.
When did you find out that Brentford are interested?
It was actually training at St George's Park.
Yeah.
With Peterborough. And there was talks of going here, there, and I was kind of like, I'm in an just like, yeah, when it's something concrete, then let me know. Right now, I just want to focus on training hard because it's easy to be led astray when this club's interested in you, this club's interested in you. You hear loads of things, but then nothing's concrete. Like, it's just all well and good. These are looking at you. These are looking at you. But these times, I'm not a kid no more. Mm. When they want me and put a bid in, then we can start talking. Whereas hearing they're interested, what does that mean? That doesn't mean nothing. Like, everybody can be interested, but nobody wants you.
Yeah.
So when Brentford come along and I was interested and actually put a bid in, then it's like, okay, I spoke to the manager. He kind of was straightforward and said, "You're going to come in and be the main man. We want you to be starting every game and score goals and do your job. Then either take us up or go to a higher club."
So you get that call from Brentford. They put a bid in. You speak to the manager, Thomas Frank,
Yes.
and Thomas says, "Listen, you're going to be our number one."
I think it was a no-brainer. I think I did speak to other clubs.
What other clubs?
I went up to Rangers.
Oh, nice.
Spoke with the manager there, which was Steven Gerrard at the time. And
Manchester United, did you speak to?
yeah, they said I wasn't good enough.
I was going to say, I'm going to fucking call them right now.
Not playing. I went to Rangers. We spoke a bit, but then they said there was like two strikers at the time. And then they was looking to get another one in. So it would have been like 4 strikers, I think. And I think the formation they play is majority of the time 1 striker at top.
So you would have been like third choice or something?
Yeah, something like this. And then we went to Celtic. We spoke to Celtic, and I think it was like the same there. I'm one of 3 strikers or something like this. And I think at the time of when I was moving, I wanted to be like the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the crucial thing for me is playing games. Even though I back myself on competing with other strikers, but I want to know that when I go in, first through the door, I'm the main man up front, and it's up to me to keep my position. And I feel like when I spoke to the manager at Brentford, he pretty much said, "You're the main guy, and I don't see nobody taking your spot. So you make sure you produce the goods, and it's yours, really."
You've worked at a lot of clubs. You've played at a lot of different clubs. Brentford are special. They're really, really special because they are, based on their resources, they are objectively overachieving in a really, really significant way. What is it about Brentford, from your experience, what is that magic that they have?
Hard work, plain and simple. Hard work. Like, we're not the best technically gifted team. We have some magicians in the team, but other than that, it's just hard work. I mean, and we fear nobody. We respect them, but we don't fear them. So when we go to let's say, Anfield away or Chelsea away or these kind of games, we know they're probably on paper better than us, got some big names and this and that, but at the end of the day, the main thing that wins games is hard work and a little bit of quality, I guess, putting the ball in the back of the net. And I feel like throughout the club, everybody knows what the manager wants. You have to be willing to run for your teammate, the person to your left, the person to your right, and the fans and everybody. And everybody knows the responsibility they have on their shoulders when they step onto the pitch. So I think that's probably what's brought us to where and how well we're doing at the moment. And even like at the moment, the team playing without me, I hear and people say, "Oh, do you reckon Brentford are going to be like this now? You're not playing this and that." And I'm thinking, no, they're not going to struggle because they work hard. And when you work hard, you give yourself the best chance of winning a game. And I know deep down Brentford will be fine, with or without me.
Well, you've played at a lot of clubs, right? So you can kind of compare and contrast. Is there anything else other than just that work ethic that you've noticed is just different at Brentford? So you've got super hard work. Is there anything else, their approach to things or the strategy or the way that they...
I feel like the togetherness as well. How everybody talks to everyone. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been at clubs where it's like a certain group sit there, like everybody's divided. It's like, but it's not that at Brentford. Everybody mixes with everybody. Like, you got people of Spanish, Danish, which is majority of the club at the moment, English and everything. And everybody just mixes together. So it's not like, where are my friends? Where should I sit down at lunch? You just get your lunch, sit down here, you talk with whoever.
And the manager?
That comes from him. I feel like he makes sure the togetherness and the humbleness, like there's nobody at the club thinks they're better than nobody. Like even last season I scored 20 goals. I wasn't better than nobody. I was the same. a person that doesn't really play too much, they're not less of a person than me. We're all the same. We're all in it together. So I feel like that comes from the manager and his philosophy at the club and how he wants things to be run.
What are the things that I often think with managers and CEOs and stuff, like they have their like core principles, which you just get bored of hearing because they say it over and over and over and over again. What are those things that he just repeats over and over and over again?
Togetherness.
Yeah.
Humble.
Yeah.
And attitude.
And I guess he polices that pretty...
Yeah, all the time. It's all over the club. It's all in the meetings, which is probably why, like I said, we're doing so well as a club and as a whole unit.
What's the dressing room, the training ground dressing room culture like? Again, I ask this because I've spoken to so many players at United in particular, and especially in the Fergie eras, they always talk about the self-policing culture in the dressing room. You know, like what's that like versus other clubs?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's good. Like there's other clubs I've been at, it's been good as well, but not how it is in Brentford. I feel like Brentford is probably one of the best dressing rooms I've been in terms of everybody knows their drill, everyone knows their position, everybody's helping others. Like everybody just like they respect if something's on the floor, tidy, pick it up, put it in there. Like them kind of things is key if you want to be achieving something big. And I feel like with that in the changing room as well as in the gym or in the dinner hall is key, and everybody's up for everybody. It's like one big family unit.
26 years old, you're named Brentford's Player of the Season. You scored 12 goals in the first Premier League season, and then you scored 20 goals in your second Premier League season, finishing third in the Golden Boot rankings behind Haaland and Harry Kane. That's big.
Yeah. It is big. But sometimes I don't really realise how big it is. Because sometimes I'm at home and I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm not first. In my head, if you're not first, you're last. Then, like my family say, but look who you're behind and look at the calibre of players that are playing in the Premier League, and you've scored more than these guys. I'm always thinking, yeah, but I could have scored more. And
Do you think you could score more than Haaland?
what you got? So it's like 30 something,
36.
I mean, not. I mean, not more, but I look back on chances that should have been a goal, and I feel like there probably is like 15, 16 chances that I probably could have scored or should have scored. So if I was as clinical as Haaland was, not to say I'll beat him, but I could be a lot higher than 20.
England's football team. I think I saw a post on your Instagram a couple of weeks ago about that being a huge dream for you to play for England.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to play for England.
Yeah, when I was a kid, just kicking the ball at the shed.
I remember just screaming like Gerrard's name and Lampard's name, like when them on the field, just kicking. And like you said, when that opportunity was around and I was in talks of it, it didn't feel real. From being Ivan from Northampton, just playing out the front, getting bashed around by the older lot, to actually having a chance to play for England was something I would never have dreamt of.
You missed out on the final World Cup squad. Lots of circulating rumours about why. What do you know why?
I guess it comes down to the allegations on the betting scandal. But I feel like, personally, I felt like it was a bit of a questionable time when they decided to bring it all out. And then when they actually dealt with the situation come the end of the season, it's kind of like, why would you bring it out then and then punish me at the end of the season?
So they brought it. I guess you're saying that you suspect they brought it out at that time to prevent you going to play for England.
I assume so, and to make it a bigger story.
Okay.
Personally, anyway, I don't know if it's true. Like, I'm not to know what's behind the scenes, but I feel like if you have somebody go into the World Cup that's supposed to be betting, then it's kind of like a bigger story.
I'm not very clued up on this whole FA thing. So the FA, the England team play under the FA.
Yeah.
And the FA are also the sort of body that brought the charges against you.
Yeah.
So one might assume that they released the charges at that point, because if they didn't, then there might be some ramifications on the England team or the perceptions of the England team or something.
Yeah, I assume so.
Right.
I'm not too aware of all this stuff, but I feel like it was a bit of a coincidence when they decided to bring it all out, and then having to be dealt with the punishment at the end of the season so far after. It's kind of like, I mean, I feel like, yes, I'm banned now, but the biggest punishment for me was missing out on playing at the World Cup, personally. I felt more hurt and, what's the word? Kind of like, yeah, I felt down around the time. It felt like somebody's out to get me at that time to stop me from playing for England. In my head, like, that's just how I seen it at the time. It's like, they want to punish me for this, missing out on England. The World Cup, like, that's everybody's dream, to be playing at the World Cup. And then further down the line, ban me as well. It's kind of like a double hit, I feel. In a sense, whereas, like I said, if he was going to stop me from going to the World Cup, do it there and then and deal with it, deal with the whole situation. Rather than doing that, missing out on the World Cup, and then let me play the rest of the season, and then banning me after the season. It doesn't add up in my head, to be fair, anyway.
When you say I felt down about it, what does that mean in real terms? If I was a fly on the wall in your life when that information came in?
That was probably my... excuse me, that was probably the lowest point. I was like... With me, I never show nothing. I don't show emotion too tough. But I think that was probably the lowest point I felt. Like, you'd ask me about it, I was like, yeah, it is what it is. But that is what it is kind of like...
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, damn. It hurt. It did hurt.
Do you cry?
No, I don't feel like crying solves anything. Personally, that's my personal views. Everybody says to me, you need to show emotion. You can cry, it's okay. But, like, I feel like I've only cried once, when I see my nan cry from losing my pap, and seeing her hurt as much as she was killed me inside. And then it was kind of like, I didn't cry, but it was like tears in my eyes coming down, and it was kind of like, it was painful.
Do you express how you're feeling to anyone in your life at that point? To your partner, to your family, your mum, your dad? When you find out that you're not going to play for England, and they've the rumours are out about this gambling situation, do you tell anyone how you're actually feeling?
No, but people that know me know my actions and how that leads to how I'm feeling. Like, I'd be a lot more like snappy about things, or I'd just be like I can just be like there and someone be talking to me, and it's not like really registering, but my head's not really in the room, kind of thing. And that people that know me know, like, something's up, something's wrong.
What was the reality of the situation? What was going on inside your head? And how was it, when you say down and you say that was the lowest point, what does that mean in real terms?
I wouldn't say depressed as such, but it was kind of like not far off that. If anything, towards that direction, but not completely. Because like still how I stay in my head, it's like next opportunity, next day. Another day is another day to put things right and try and be as positive as I can.
Have you ever had anxiety?
Probably, but how I am, I don't let it get to me as much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd say the loan spells, when I'm on loan, I'm in a room on my own. There's been times I've just literally sat there without the TV on, just sat there and just like chilling and just looking to thin air and just thinking about things. But I'd never, like I said, I'd never like let nobody know how I'm feeling, because how I am as a person, I feel like it eats away at me, but I'm just always a smiley one. Always like you ask people at Brentford now, I'm the joker, I'm making sure everyone's fine. These kind of things. I think that's my kind of way of beating my emotions. If I see this person happy from me doing that, then it kind of brings me up to make me happy, kind of thing.
Did you not speak to anyone, like a professional, about this stuff? Because I always think when we bottle up our emotions, it's not like they go away. It's like almost like they eat us up from inside, and they come out in other ways, like you were saying, snappiness or whatever, or, you know. Surely there's someone around you that said you need to see someone. Yeah,
there was. But as well, me being stubborn, it's kind of like, nah, I'm fine. It's fine. Like, I'll be right tomorrow. I'll be right later. I'll be right next week. I feel like I can speak to anybody in my family, but like my stubbornness just don't allow me to.
I think a lot of men can relate to that, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I do need to get better at that. Personally.
In May 26th, you did a famous tweet. Do you know the tweet I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'll speak soon with no filter. You ready to speak?
And
what did that tweet mean?
That was just speak on everything, really. But obviously when I done that, it went crazy, and then I think my family just said, listen, you don't need to talk. Just when you get on a pitch, let your feet do the talking. Like, what's it? Damage is done. You can't talk, and it's not going to help no situation. If anything, could not damage my reputation or my career, but just make people think. Not that I care what people think. It's just could put in the works that, who do you think he is? That kind of thing. But it doesn't benefit no parties.
What headspace were you in when you tweeted that?
Probably a reckless one.
Really?
Yeah.
How were you feeling?
Thinking, I don't care attitude, I'd say.
Kind of a defense mechanism against...
Pretty much, yeah. Against everybody. Like even like little things like... For the whole situation, not like my friends, the one I stick with, they're the people I chill with all the time. But it's even like when I go... I don't know if it's just me thinking certain things, but it's like when I go certain places, like maybe some people don't want to be associated with me in a certain way of... Obviously because of media kind of thing, and it's kind of like not killing their image, but it's kind of like, you're chilling with this guy, he's a match fixer. He's match fixing football. And like even like, I remember at the time when there was allegations, I wanted to go into a restaurant, and they was like, "No, you can't. We're not taking you."
The restaurant.
A restaurant. And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was because the allegations, we're not allowing you in or something like this. I was actually so confused. I was thinking, for starters, it's allegations. And second of all, you're a restaurant. How can you not let someone in due to bad press? That's what they call it, bad press. I was just baffled, and even to like my car insurance, they wouldn't insure me due to the whole scandal. And I was just like, a car insurance? They don't want me on their books because, which was baffling.
I read through the whole FA report, many pages. I think it was like 25 odd pages. I have it here, just to understand the case better, just so I made sure I didn't make any errors in my observations. But I think there's actually a line in there where the commission say they didn't believe you were doing any match fixing.
It was far from match fixing.
Yeah, I wrote that down in my notes, that they concluded that you hadn't been match fixing or anything like that in their report. So that allegation from whoever said that, the restaurant or whatever, doesn't seem to have a basis in the report at all.
And I'm sure there was certain articles on saying match fixing as well, that's probably the media for you, making it a big talking point.
When the FA first contact you and they make a request for information, don't they? So they want to know more information.
Yeah.
This is dating back to 2022, I believe. When you get that first contact, how does that feel? Like your dad or your agent must have told you that the FA have been in touch.
Well, they wanted information from as far back as 2015. So it's kind of like, well, I haven't got that. Besides, I haven't got that phone that I had back then to give you information. But I'm willing to cooperate how I can to let you investigate what you want to investigate. And when the club actually pulled me into a room and they spoke to me and said, the FA have been in touch with you, match fixing, this and that. They want to speak to you. And I said, okay, no
This
problem.
is Brentford?
This is Brentford, yeah. I said, okay, no problem. Then he was like, have you done any bets whilst you've been at Brentford, and have you been betting on football? And I was like, no, I haven't done no bets that are match fixing football. He was like, okay, well, the FA want to speak to you. Don't delete nothing on your phone, because there's a system that they said they can get back old messages or whatever they said. So I said, no problem. I'm not deleting nothing if they can go through what they want to go through.
And then they called you in for an interview in May 2022.
Yeah.
And they ask you all these questions again about what you've been involved in with betting, etc.
Yeah. And they asked me certain things that happened, like I said, 7-8 years ago. And to the top of my head, so much information thrown at you at one time. It's kind of like, I actually can't remember. And I think I was in there for 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah.
But at that time, you maintained to them that you're not betting on football.
Yeah. And I wasn't aware what that was trying to get at.
You acknowledged later on that you basically lied in that meeting with the FA.
I didn't lie. I just couldn't really remember what they was asking for at the time. I couldn't remember until they brought certain things in front of me, and it was kind of like, okay, he's talking about my memory, and like I said, I cooperated with everything they wanted to do, and we kind of spoke on it, and then I told them the truth about everything.
One of the things people might find surprising is they asked for your mobile phones and stuff, and then they image your mobile phones to check all the messages you've sent to people going back a long time on these phones to find out everything you've been said. And also, as you said, they ask you not to delete any messages, which you didn't from what the commission said. But how does that feel when the FA ask for your mobile phone and they're going to scan it for everything?
It doesn't feel, it's just kind of like it's your privacy, and they're invading it. It's kind of like I've got certain pictures on there I wouldn't want them to see, these kind of things. So it's pretty much you have to go with what they're saying. Otherwise, I think you get a longer ban for not cooperating or something like this. So what can I do? You want to take my phone.
And all your bank statements as well.
Everything.
They asked for your bank statements, which you handed over as well.
Yep.
You handed over, I believe, multiple phones.
No, just the one phone.
Oh, just the one phone.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was some.
They said there was another phone, but there wasn't. There was the one phone I had.
That as well. And then eventually you admit to 232 breaches of their rules, the FA rule E8, which is betting over 5 seasons from 25th of February 2017 to betting up until January 21.
Yes, I believe so. And like I said, there was people saying I was match fixing, but none of it was match fixing. It was just, like I said before, I was betting on myself to score first. I think this was a while back. And it's kind of that's not, I'm still trying to do the right thing. It's not like I'm smashing someone and getting a yellow card here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, and the report actually does say that. It says that you weren't. The commission said that you weren't match fixing, which is a completely different completely different thing
Yeah.
than making bets on like games that you're playing and betting on yourself to score, or betting on the team when you're not in the team, which is what, from what I read, which is what happened. Gambling and generally, when did that start in your life? When did you start first gambling?
I think it's just kind of like, as you're young, it's like a little flutter, they call it. Like, you're in like the fair arcade kind of thing, just trying to win a little change or something, or these kind of things. So I'd say like around 15. 15 as such.
And it got progressively worse or more intense?
I'd say the more money you get, the higher the stakes go. It's kind of like, oh, if I lose this, it's fine. This is coming next month. Did
you not realise, throughout those sort of 5 years when you were betting a lot, 232 breaches, that your relationship with betting was unhealthy?
I think on the 232 breaches, there was some bets in there that I don't recall making, but I was willing to take responsibility just to get the process all over and done with, because having that hovering over me and trying to concentrate on my career is not the best feeling, far from the best feeling. And I done well to finish on 20 goals with that hanging over me. But in terms of thinking, do you have a problem? It's kind of like, you don't think of, oh, if I lose this is going to happen. So it's like, oh, once I won this and this can happen. Like, you never think of the negatives. You'd always think of the positives. And being on the money I was on, which I thought was a lot of the time, and it's kind of like, it's fine, I'll get there in the back end of the month. Oh, that's coming back this month. Oh, he owes me this, it's fine.
What impact was it having on your life, betting?
I feel like it was just the impact it would have. It was just waiting for payday.
Right.
Like no matter what happens through the month, you wait for payday.
But you could spend your wage and then wait for payday. Spend your wage, wait for payday.
Yeah, but I'd pay and sort everything I need to pay for first, and then it's like, I got this to play with. Do that. It's fine. Payday will come soon. So it wasn't like, spend this money I should be giving here or paying on this.
You took care of your...
I took care of what needed to be care of, and in my head it's kind of like, my money is my money, but I can spend it how I want to. And yeah, pretty much like that. I've made my own money. It's up to me how I want to spend it.
One of the things that was quite surprising is bets for your team to lose when you weren't playing in the team. You knew betting was wrong, right? Like, you knew that as a footballer you weren't allowed to bet.
My knowledge of betting on football, I don't think I recall once somebody coming and just giving a talk on their experience betting. Not, you can't bet on football. So it wasn't like, I shouldn't be betting on this, shouldn't be betting on that. And I think the bets that were on my team to lose when I'm not playing, I think a majority of those were within the bets that I know about personally. I think I didn't do, but I still took responsibility of them, for them, so the whole process could get cleared up.
And you don't know about some of these bets, you're saying, because you did them through somebody else.
Yeah.
And you did them through somebody else because you knew you weren't allowed to, right?
It wasn't through that I knew I wasn't allowed to. It was that I didn't want my parents seeing what I'm doing with my money.
This was a point of contention in the documents. The FA said, he's betting through somebody because he didn't want the FA to find out. You're saying you bet through somebody else because your parents, the mail was going to their house and you didn't want them opening up the post and seeing it.
Yeah, that's right.
Essentially, that was a point. The commission go their own way on that. And then, okay, so moving on from that, there's all these aggravating factors in the document. Was he aware of the rules? I think you eventually admitted that you were aware of the rules in terms of not being able to bet on football. Going back to the days, I think at Northampton. Was it Northampton? One of your previous your previous chairman at the football club was thrown out because of a betting scandal, and then you have a relative in your life that was also issued with a breach of the FA rules for betting in 2007 as well. So the commission concluded that you were aware of the rules and that you couldn't bet, but you sort of counteract that by saying you didn't have.
I think it was kind of a grey area.
Right.
Like, I think there was a time where, like I said, the clubs I've been at, they would at like beginning of every season, I feel like they'd have somebody come in, but not actually tell you what you can and what you can't bet on.
What would that person say? Just like broad.
Just his experiences on betting. Like, he'd come in and say, "This is me betting this," and then I've lost this much. I've come through this. So if you think about betting, don't do it. So it wasn't like you can't be betting on football, or you can't be betting on. Yeah, you can't be betting on football. It was just his experiences of going through a gambling stage.
Because so you didn't know you couldn't bet as a player?
No, I think it was a grey area. Some like you'd hear you can, you hear it, you can't, and then there's certain things you say you can't bet on. Like with me personally, I feel like it was a grey area.
And you admitted in the second aggravating factor was about knowing whether you, basically admitting to whether you were betting or not. And in the interview with the commission, during the process, you said that you had lied earlier on by saying, "I don't bet on football," in an earlier interview. But, you know, that was one of the first interviews you had, and you'd responded, "I don't bet on football." And
yeah,
that wasn't accurate.
Yeah, that was when, obviously, they threw everything at me. I thought if I just deny it, then it's all fine. They wouldn't find nothing. But then...
Obviously, they'd take your phones and everything.
Yeah, then everything went through, and then... Yeah, I admitted to what I'd done.
In the FA, the fourth aggravating factor was whether the player sought to conceal his identity when he set up his own betting account in 2017. The commission didn't accept the FA's submission there. They didn't believe that you'd concealed it in that regard. Whether the player deleted messages, issue number 5, commission concluded that there wasn't evidence that you'd deleted any messages.
I was accused of deleting messages, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, by the FA, but the commission said that they didn't have substantial evidence for that.
Yeah.
Kind of the same.
I was told not to,
and you didn't
delete nothing from the club.
The commission couldn't find any evidence that you had deleted anything. So, and then the phone issue we've talked about already. The last issue was around whether you had a gambling addiction, and they brought out a psychologist called Dr. Philip Hopley, who looked at you, did interviews with you. He's a highly qualified and experienced psychiatric expert, according to the commission. And he interviewed you on 2 occasions, and he formed a clear opinion that you had a gambling addiction. And accordingly, the commission accepted the findings of the doctor on this issue. And that's part of the reason that you were given a more lenient sentence, because Dr. Hopley said that you had an impulsive, compulsive disorder. Yeah. Was that the first time you'd heard of gambling addiction?
Yeah.
Through this process, this tribunal?
Yeah, because I feel like it wouldn't be in me to bring myself forward to speak to one of these people to see if I did have one. So it's kind of like I said, my stubbornness comes into play on this one. It's just kind of like, no, I'm fine, I can stop when I want to stop.
What did someone explain to you what a gambling addiction is since then?
A little bit, yeah. We did speak with Dr. Hopley on around what addiction is, but it's kind of like you don't allow yourself to believe it. Like, I feel like if you want to stop doing something, I feel like people think in their head, I can stop if I want to, but not knowing deep down you probably can't.
Could you have stopped?
Probably. Yeah, it's. I feel like it's 50-50. You could have stopped, but I feel like the thrill on it is kind of like what keeps you going.
Because the FA, their sort of counterpoint to that was that there was periods where you didn't gamble. So they were saying that to the commission that, you know, it's not a gambling addiction because there's parts of his journey where he's not gambling or he's betting on other things, for example. Do you still gamble now?
No.
Anything?
No.
Any betting at all across any?
No.
Has that required therapy or any sort of professional support?
I think it's kind of being in the public eye. If I was to be like going into these places and these kind of things, I think it's more the embarrassment it's still continuing, like this kind of thing. So I wouldn't allow myself, and like you look back, I think like you take a back seat and look at all the money you've lost and what you could have went on, and especially now having people to provide for, it's kind of like you can't be spending that money on this. It can go to here, or like just manage your money better. How I look at things and how I look at me, I see that as being naive.
We don't really get much information, do we, growing up about gambling, or really how to spend our money or tax. Especially, I think about you guys as like young, 20-year-olds that are just playing football, and then you become millionaires because you're good at it. It's kind of different for like my pursuit, because I'm building a business. You have CFOs, you have finance people around you, you have controls, budgets, forecasts, P&Ls, all this stuff. So you're surrounded by like money minds and brains around you when you're building a business. But being a young 20-year-old millionaire who, I'm presuming nobody gave you financial education.
No, it's kind of like you said, yeah, having that much money at a tender age, it's kind of like, what do I do with it? And I'm not a family that comes from money, so it's not like my parents could help me a lot with that. But they would have their say on certain things. But it's like you kind of have to try and just manage it yourself, and just assume doing this is the right thing.
You don't know what you don't know.
Pretty much.
The bit of this case that I found difficult is the using someone else to do the bets. Because for me, that points to like, in that he did know. I think that's what people would think. They'd look at that and go, "Nah,
of course, 100%.
Conceal it." Because I'm thinking your mum and dad ain't open your post at 27 years old. Like, my mum ain't gonna open my post.
No, this was when I was away.
Oh,
away
you were
from
younger.
home.
You were like 20. You were younger
Yeah.
than 20.
So I know my post did go to my parents, and I feel like, of course, your parents want to be knowing what's going on. If you're getting this letter through, that's you're not paying this, or like I said, seeing what you're spending your money on. And I feel like, because we're a tight family, my mum would worry about that. And there was actually times where she's opened it and she's kind of said certain things about it.
And the FA had highlighted the text message you'd sent where you'd said to your mate, "I can't have that one in my name." What was the app I gambled on your phone this time, from text messages that they'd found? That's the bit that I struggled with, was I was like, I wasn't sure there. But this chapter of your life has clearly been a big learning moment.
100%. I feel like looking back on what I've done, I changed some bits probably, but it is what it is. And the man I am now, continuing forward, is kind of, it is different to what I was before. Do
you take, like, when we think about responsibility for our actions, what responsibility do you take for all of this? Where you say, listen, this is what I take responsibility for here. And this is also, like, going back to a question I asked earlier about, like, what do you wish someone had said to you when you first did that? I don't know, those bets 5, 6, 7 years ago. What's the responsibility you take, and what's the lesson you've taken from this process? I
think the responsibility I'd take was, I was betting on myself to score first, which now I know you shouldn't be doing, which I take responsibility, and I'll take full responsibility for the punishment I'm getting now. Mm-hmm. So it would be kind of a like, and what I tell my younger self around them kind of times, it's like, manage your money better. Don't get mixed in the wrong crowd, let's say, and just don't follow fashion. Have your own mind frame on what you should and shouldn't be doing. Or if you don't know, look more into it, and if that's what you really want to do, look more into it and what you can and can't do.
It's interesting because when they were deliberating your punishment, one of the things that came to mind is perception, and the perception it would send to the rest of the game. Do you think they made an example of you?
I feel so, yeah.
Do you think that's right?
I don't think it's right, no, but
because you're a high-profile Premier League player, obviously, if you get away with doing something like this could, other players at lower levels could also emulate it. So they've got an opportunity here to send a message.
100%. 100%. And I feel like a lot of people think that in terms of, if no disrespect to the lower leagues, but if I was, we actually did look at some cases that was, some were similar, some were worse, and their punishment wasn't like how mine is. I think the fact they see opportunity, the fact that I'm playing in the Premier League, doing well, sniff around England, it's kind of like, right, this is our chance to punish him. Then people know this is kind of the punishment you're looking at if you want to do what I done.
It's funny because I was actually surprised to read that in the analysis section of this document, where it says the perception of the impact of football betting on the integrity of the game is a key consideration when deciding on your sanction, which does kind of suggest that they're quite intentional in making sure that they make an example of you. Thereabouts in their words. And obviously you have a huge position of influence, so that's key. And then they submit the FA suggested that you get 12 months ban as a suspension, I believe. And that was their final sanction. The commission didn't accept that. Ordinarily, the commission would have imposed 15 months suspension had you not pled guilty to the charges, which lowered your sanction. And then also you got another reduction in the sanction because of the findings from the doctor who found that you had a gambling addiction, which brought your sentence down to 8 months, and you were fined £50,000. It's interesting because, I'm a huge football fan, so I want to see you play. And you're on such a roll. Brentford are on such a roll. So, like, as a football fan, although you smashed United last year, like, it's so good to see, like, a young black English striker tearing up the game at its peak. It's gutting to see you out of the game. It is.
And I feel like how I am and how people know how I stay, this is nothing. I know for a fact I'll come back stronger than this and better than I was before. Like, gives me the hunger again to recharge and come back on another level. Like I said before earlier, no time to dwell on things. And it's like, just when that first game comes and I can play, then it's not a ball game. It's on.
When you found out you were suspended for eight months, how did that feel? What's that like? Because you're in the peak of your powers right now, right?
Yeah, I know it's painful, but I feel like the hard part is kind of now, because right now I'll be playing football matches and I can't be around the players and at the football ground and things like this, and it's kind of like, okay, that's what you want to do, punish me from there, but I feel like keep me away from the ground. If I wasn't as strong as I was in my head, that would break some people. And I'll be talking about mental health and all these kind of things, and what's that kind of doing to a player that's not allowed in the environment, even though you can't play games, but keeping away from the training ground, knowing football's their life and that's all they've done from such a young age. How is that going to help them at all?
Yeah, this is, I completely agree with you. I think the sanction itself is important because it does send a message, and I agree with that. But the bit that I just struggle with is the can't train at the club. And we know, as you point out there, like, mental health, keeping active is such an important thing, especially if you've been playing football since you were a kid and it's your purpose. It's what you know. So psychologically and physically, there's a real strong case to keep you active. And I've seen a lot of people have their say on this. A lot of people think, you could have trained at the ground and then used that time to educate young players on gambling. That would have been useful. But to keep you out of the club, not allow you to train, and to kind of push you out on your own, it seems, doesn't feel like it's smart.
It doesn't add up with what, like, the things they push forward. Like we say, the whole football community is big on mental health. Then the FA go and do this and, like, push me away from like the whole football environment. Like, by all means, it's not a place where I want people to feel sorry for me. Like, that's the last thing I want. And me as a person, people that know me would know that's not one thing I'm trying to achieve. But it's the fact of, what if somebody that's not as strong as me in the head, happens to be going through this kind of situation and their punishment is they're not allowed at the training ground. Like, that would break them. Like, right now, not being around the training ground, it does hurt me, but I just know when I'm at the training ground, train harder, be ready for the game when I can play. But it's like I said, it's not a nice feeling, and the whole purpose of not being allowed at the training ground it's baffling to me. But
Do you have hard days still?
Yeah. I feel like everybody has hard days.
I mean, like through this process, has there been days where your ups and your downs, and difficult days where you have low moments because you are away from football, the press is on top of you?
Yeah, I feel like I've had hard 2 hours kind of things. Like in the mornings, I'd wake up and be like, can't be asked today. But get in the shower, get active. When you're there working, it's kind of like out your head. As much as you don't want to do it, you'll see in the long run that time I didn't want to get up, didn't want to put the work in. It's paying off now. Whereas if I'm saying, tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes, I'll do it the next day.
So you're still training?
Yeah, still keeping fit, still doing my own thing.
Working with a personal trainer?
Yeah, personal trainer, which is good. And it's not like a lenient one, it's one that pushes me. So I feel like I've not got it good, but I've got the best people around me to keep me fit and keep me going. And like I said, my family is key. My family is the one they're the people that's helping me going as well, and especially my children.
You're a mummy's boy.
Yep.
Sometimes in these moments, it's difficult for us, but it's harder to watch the impact it has on our family, right?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like even when the whole thing it was like there was allegations and the people like going into my mum's work and just saying certain things, and I'd be at the petrol station, they scream certain things, and I'd be with my family and my children, and people just be like shouting dumb things out.
Like what?
Just like, you putting it, like shouting things like, you're putting a tenner on today's game, or these kind of things, or just silly, immature things. And how I am, I'm kind of hot-headed, but especially when family are involved and my children are around, it's kind of like, it's hard for me not to want to say something or do something or these kind of things. And it's like going through that period, like, it's hard. And people that you wouldn't normally speak to, or my parents or family wouldn't normally speak to, they'd pop up and just be like, what's happening with Ivan? So it's when the bad things come along and now you want to talk and find out what's going on. Whereas when I'm scoring goals or getting picked for England, you don't really want to say too much. But that's life, and that's how people are, and we don't miss them. We see them. We see the evil eye. So it's...
Has this process been? Has it illuminated things for you in certain areas of your life, certain people, and certain people that are there for you and stand? You know, because I think even thinking about the gaffer, Thomas Frank, he's come to your defence multiple times, talking about how he disagrees with the way that it's been handled, the sanctions, and he thinks that you should be able to train with the team and be out there educating young kids, etc., etc. He disagrees with the decision that the commission made. Not just him,
Gareth Southgate as well.
Gareth Southgate, he did talk sport, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know. I spoke to him as well. But
how does that feel, Lynn? What does that mean to you?
It feels good knowing I've got them behind me. Obviously, the England manager and my club manager backing me 100%. It feels good, and it gives me a bit of extra strength to make sure when I'm back, I'm firing, and it gives me that bit of hunger. Not that I'm lacking it, but I feel like the extra boost to feel like, okay, it's on when I'm back kind of thing.
And the club standing by you in such a way, has that kind of cemented your loyalty a little bit to Brentford? Yeah,
I feel like I said earlier, I want a manager and a club to like really want me and put their arm around me, and I feel like throughout the whole situation, Brentford have done that. Like even the players as well. Like, I spoke to loads of them. They don't agree with it, but it is what it is. And
your mum?
Yeah, she's like we're going back to the tweet when I put that tweet out. She was the first person that rang me and messaged me and said, "Listen, you don't need to do nothing. Just don't do no more, please." I've been saying how she's been sick she feels sick in her stomach for however long throughout the whole situation. And putting it out there, she's just thinking it's going to damage me, damage her and damage the family and things like this. So I just thought, okay, let me just do the talk on my feet. And when I'm back, and get the family, not that they're not smiling, but happy again. And I'm sure they can't wait. Well, they can't wait to see their son back on the pitch scoring goals.
Does it mean the most to you to make her happy and to make her feel good?
All my family, yeah. I feel like she always just texts me randomly, and she's like, I don't want to bother you. Sometimes I just check on what I'm sitting on WhatsApp to wait for you to come online to know you're okay and alive and well. And that's how my mum is. Like, there'll be sometimes my mum, she knows, and she does. She calls me random times. It'd be 12 at night or it'd be early doors. Just checking in. I was fine. Love you so much. This and that. But yeah, that's her favourite one. Checking to see if I'm online on WhatsApp rather than pestering me in her eyes. But so I think making them happy and making them smile is what gives me the thrill to do well.
The Brentford fan base?
Yeah, strong, massive.
Showing you a lot of love as well, support.
Yeah. I think everywhere I go, I get love from the Brentford fans, so that's good and that's key.
What's your? You're going to get back to football, and I can feel you've got a certain fire inside you.
Yep. I think not that I need to prove anybody wrong, but there's a lot of haters and doubters out there thinking he ain't going to be the same man when he comes back. Actually, they're right. I'm going to be a different man and be even better than that guy that scored them goals before. So,
how do you know?
Because I'm built different. My mentality is different. I'm not one of these, he could have been a great player, hadn't he done this. I'm going to go beyond that. And it's, like I said, not a point to prove, but a point to prove to myself.
How do you ensure that happens? Like, what is it that, because I think about controllables, what is it that you can control to make sure that you come back an even better player? Is it just training harder? What is it that you're...
It's training harder, but in my head, every time I step on a pitch, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to score today. I'm going to score. I know I'm going to score. When the chance comes, I'm going to score. Because in the game, you're bound to get a chance that you should be scoring. So in my head now, I'm thinking, right, when I do play and I do get that chance that I should be scoring, it has to be a goal. So it's going to be a goal.
What if it's not?
The next one will be a goal.
What if it's not?
It will be. That'll be 2 goals.
You know, Brentford is a fantastic team. I think of all the teams in the Premier League, if we talk about admiration, I really admire Brighton at the moment, but Brentford I absolutely think are a brilliant, brilliant team. Really ton of admiration for them. There's a lot of people that are obviously linking you to other clubs and saying, is he going to join this, Manchester United, and all of that. How do you receive all of that? You know, all these links to... Because everyone's looking for a striker. Strikers are like the hardest to find. Goal scorers in the Premier League. You got Haaland, you got Kane. He's gone. Now you're technically the second best striker that's currently in the league on paper. So, you know, these big clubs are going to come knocking. They're going to say, you know, Chelsea's got fucking unlimited money over here. United, we need a striker. How do you receive all of that?
I mean, like, from young, and like I said, I don't let this all affect me. Obviously, you hear it all going on in the background, but my job is to keep training well when I get the chance in the games to keep scoring and doing well. But I think everybody wants to play at the top of the tree, and not that Brentford aren't there. But I feel like playing for a big club, fighting for trophies and these kind of things, everybody wants to do. And if the chance was to come along, I think I'd be silly not to look more into it. But I feel like, yeah, and the manager knows that I want to be playing at the highest level possible. And whenever that time comes, then so be it. But I can't think. My time at Brentford's been good. It's probably one of the best times in my career.
And that's a special club. Like, they just got something. They got a culture there which is super special. So, that culture you described will get the best out of you as a player, for sure. So it's like great talent, great culture equals great results. It's like 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I like the next club I'll go to, if I was to move, it would be like the right club.
When you say the right club, you're not talking about Liverpool, are you? I heard you're a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, a Liverpool fan. I feel.
You've been a Liverpool fan your whole life?
Yeah, I've been a Liverpool fan my whole life, but from young, I've liked Arsenal. I like watching Arsenal from how they play and the kind of how passionate the fans are. But yeah, Liverpool fan, Liverpool boy at heart. And
so Liverpool at heart, love how Arsenal play, love their style.
Yeah.
Anything about Manchester United, Ivan?
I liked Berbatov when he was there.
Okay.
I liked watching United a lot when Berbatov was there. So
okay. Well, we do actually need a striker, so I've actually got a contract here that Eric and Richard Arnold have given me. So imagine. No, well, listen. I hope you. I just want to see you back playing again, because I think it's a gift to the Premier League, your talent, and also when I look at your story, you didn't have a straight line that a lot of people have in football. You went up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and you persevered because the talent is. You can't argue with it. You can't argue with the talent, and so this whole gambling section of your life, it's a bit of a blip in the. It's a hurdle you've overcome, and you've taken your punishment. You move on from that. You admit responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now it becomes about the football.
Yeah, like you said, the journey's been wild. It's been crazy. And if I was to read a book on myself, I'd say this guy's done a lot and been through a lot, and he's still fighting and he's still climbing to the top of the tree. Like, how's he managed all that with everything that's gone on? What's
the goal? If we have this conversation again at the end of your career, and we sit down here and we go, man, and you go, damn, that was a successful career, Steve. What happened?
I want to be playing for England and scoring goals. I don't want to just be, he played for England a couple of times. I want to be the main man wherever I go. And for England, I know they got Harry Kane there. He's probably one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best. So, and that's what I'm up against. So I need to get to that level. So it just takes working hard and keep fighting.
You got the Euros around the corner as well.
Yeah, and that's another place I want to get to, which I do believe that in my head I'm ready to get to. So.
And at club level, what are your ambitions there in football?
Win trophies, win some silverware. I feel like I want to play for the highest level possible. Play for a club that's I'm loved at, not just one of. But I feel like with all my moves, I've not just gone to a club for whatever or money or whatever. I've gone. It's been the right step for me, and I've achieved something every year. Every year, I've just got better and better.
You want to win the Premier League one day?
That's the aim. That's the aim. I want to win the World Cup also. I want to win trophies that's like, wow. And being from where I'm from, Northampton, not many people can achieve them things or be like, yeah, he's been at the World Cup, he's won the World Cup. Yeah. And like, even then, like, my mum still lives in the same house.
Really?
She doesn't want to move. She likes being there, and people will one day be like, yeah, Ivan's mum lives there. Well, they do that now, but it'd be more of an achievement when I've won something like that and be like, yeah, Ivan's mum's there. Ivan comes there all the time. I think that's kind of how we are, how I am. And you can see, like, my mum, she doesn't want to move into some big house. She feels safe and comfy at the house where she's at, and that shows that I have no choice but to be grounded.
And you've got 3 kids as well.
Yeah, 3 little boys.
Do you think about them? Do you think about what the legacy you want to leave that they're going to grow up and learn about? Does that cross your mind a lot?
Yeah, it does. I want to leave a legacy that they don't have no pressure on their shoulders to walk into. I just want them to, whether it is a football or whatever industry they look to go into, which obviously I would want to say is football. But whatever they do, I want them to be successful and be strong. Like my children, I feel like that I do want them to have the same upbringing I had. Like I wouldn't put them to like private school and these things because I don't want to just give them everything. I want them to have to work for certain things.
What advice would you give them about how to navigate? Say they do go into football, all 3 of them, and they come to you one day. They say, "Dad, listen, I've just got a call from the biggest club in the world, Manchester United, and and I'm gonna accept it and go to Manchester United, play under Eric. I need some advice, Dad. I'm on my way tomorrow. What advice can you give me, Dad?"
Have the mentality as you're the best player on the pitch. You might not be, but having that mentality will help you play better. And just have the hunger. If you haven't got the hunger or the drive, you'll step behind already. I'd say also attitude is key. Because that'll get you a long way. Not just in football or work, in life.
When you did this tweet, the famous tweet, "I'll speak soon with no filter," I understand that. It came from a place of anger, like a bit defensive, whatever. Mood settles, your mum texts you, you're like, okay, yeah. Maybe this is not going to help the situation. There was a lot you wanted to say, right? You wanted to talk specifically about the allegations. You've decided now, from what you're saying, that it's not worth it for you to go in and dispute things and say this, that, and the other's not true. But was there anything that you do want to say to the football community or just to the world generally as a message when you tweeted that, outside of the stuff where we're a bit bitter and hurt because of everything that's going on and people are attacking you or whatever? Is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I just want to give you a chance just to...
Not really. Like you said, most of it come from anger and it's kind of everybody's against me kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But with that, it's kind of I was more worried on people thinking how I am, how I am as a person, what they read and what they hear, rather than how I actually am. But the people around me, friends, family, these are the only people I should be worried about. They know how I am. Why do I need to explain to Bob down the road how I actually am? I'm probably never going to see him again. So it doesn't matter that. Why am I explaining that? And why am I going out there to give it a back and forth? I don't need to do that. And it doesn't benefit me. It just benefits him in trying to get more reaction from me. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, it definitely was out of an anger kind of moment. It's kind of all right, let me say this then, let me say that, not knowing the knock-on effect it could have. So it's not, I don't need to try and prove nobody wrong or prove nobody right. It's just focus on myself, family, and do what I do best, which is playing well and scoring goals.
Speaking with your feet.
Correct.
I did want to talk to you about one last thing. You did a tweet as well about a DM someone sent you.
Yeah.
Someone had DM'd you calling you a black C word, and you posted the tweet. Subsequently, you stopped taking the knee at the start of Premier League games and such. Racism in football. Do you still receive racial abuse still today?
Yeah.
You do?
If I was to post everything I've received that's been racist, I'd have easily around 100 messages. Easily just reel off there.
Has that increased since the sanctions were made against you from the Commission?
No, because I feel like most of it's just betting rubbish that I get, that people are saying. But I feel like most of it's from playing a game and someone bet on you or you haven't scored, and then they come for you for these kind of things, or the fantasy league, football league. You don't get enough points and now come at you like this, or you score to lose their belt. Just things like this.
Why did you stop taking the knee?
Because I feel like it's a token gesture. It's not really. It's lost its purpose. And you can see like before games, certain people like run off, but the knee. I forgot about that. Like the purpose isn't there no more. And I don't think that's doing nothing in the game to help stop these kind of things from happening.
More needs to be done for sure.
100%.
All over the world, not just in the UK, but we obviously saw what happened to Vinicius Jr. as well in the La Liga. And it does feel like if there was harsher action taken, then a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening, even from the platforms and also from the police.
I think, some of them are from abroad. And it's kind of like, if it's not in the UK, they can't do nothing about it.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, so what? You just keep sending from wherever.
Mm.
But yeah, we can't really do nothing. It's not us. Okay, so it's fine then. Basically, you're saying it's fine.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do? But yeah, I feel like it's lost its purpose. Personally, anyway. And I feel like it's kind of like puppets. The people at the top are kind of like, let's try this. Let's do this. Keep people quiet for a bit. Just do that, and we're trying. Look, it's not trying.
You're counting down the days now.
Yeah, I literally am. It's like
really
kid at Christmas. Yeah, I'm counting down the days until I can train and be around the boys, because like being in football prison at the moment. When I'm around the boys, I think it won't get easier. Well, it'll get a little bit easier, but not the same as like you train a whole week hard. At the end of the week, it's no like end goal or reward. You're not playing a match.
And then, is it January you can play?
Yeah, January the 17th.
You can train again?
I can play matches.
Oh, you can play matches?
Yes,
okay.
17th of September I can train, so...
Oh, September you can train and then...
September I can train, yeah.
Okay, and then
I
December...
can be in a club around the boys.
Okay, so not long?
Yeah, not long.
Less than a month?
Yeah, it feels like ages though.
And then you can play in January. That's going to be a very big game. A lot of people are going to be watching that.
Yeah.
Do you feel pressure?
No, I don't feel... I thrive off pressure. When it's like, surely he can't do that. He's not going to be able to do it. And that's what, like, the pressure was, like we spoke about after the playoff final, and we got the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, everyone's like, you must have been scared. Like, if you missed, you probably could have lost. It was massive. I was thinking, no, I couldn't wait. Like, I knew for a fact I was scoring that penalty, 100%. Because it was the pressure and like the reward after it gives you a bigger chance to jump in the Premier League and more money for family. So,
you trying to prove people right or trying to prove people wrong? What matters more to you?
Proving people wrong, so I can have a little dig on. Yeah, I like that. I like when I see certain tweets, and then when I do something, I come back to it and just like have a little comment and dig at the person, and there's just lots of words. So it's like, you're right, you win.
You been taking names throughout this process? Just like, this pundit said this person.
I mean, there's loads of pundits that say loads of things. And, it's all opinions, but when I come back scoring, I'm sure they'll go back into the bush and backpedal on what they say.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing who they're going to leave it for.
Okay.
So they wrote a question for you here in this diary. The question been left for you is, when have you most had to face your fears?
Probably the ban. Because I think loads of things go through your head. It's like I said, from having football at such a young age, not knowing if there's loads of things that go through your head.
Like what?
How you're going to cope with things. Like at the time, I was kind of like, not wary. I feel like I'm a confident person, but going out in certain places, the topic is going to be about the whole scandal that's going on. People are going to talk about it, but with me, it's like, do they want to talk about it? They're thinking, do I want to talk about it? Like, I'm not scared in a way, but it's kind of like, it's an awkward kind of meeting kind of thing. Then
it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah. And then it comes to the point where it's like, they'll say something like, I bet you can't do that. And it's kind of like, oh, that kind of thing. But I'm like, yeah, what's done is done. Like, you can talk about it, don't feel like that. And then they talk about it, then I mean, it's cleared. Mm-hmm. So I feel like not knowing what people are thinking about you, not knowing what people want to kind of talk to you, mm-hmm. not knowing if you're going to be fit when you come back, or not knowing what you're going to do whilst you're off. Like, loads of things go into your head, and it's like...
It hasn't crossed your mind you might like lose your form or something?
That actually did. It did at the time. But like, I know I can get myself in goal scoring positions. So I don't feel like that would be such a big issue. But it does cross your mind, like, what if I don't score within the first 5 games, 6 games? You're going to think the world's ending kind of thing. But yeah, I think that was the fear on these kind of things, not knowing what's next kind of thing.
And as the days have passed, it's got easier, right?
It's got easier in ways, but it's got harder in like...
Oh, okay, because...
Easier as in like, soon I'm going to be around the boys, and that's kind of like, my head's fine now. I'm at the club doing what I do best and enjoy. But then it's kind of like, at the end of the week, I can't play games. Whilst at the game, it's kind of like... Oh.
It's like torture watching it. Right?
Yeah, it's torture. Like, I hate watching games not when I should be on the pitch.
Do you think you deserve the punishment you got?
I mean, if that's what the rules are, then so be it. That's the punishment I should have got. But
yeah,
looking on the other cases and the fact that they were lower leagues, it's kind of like, why did he get that and I got this? Is it because he's there and I'm here? But now I feel like if this is the punishment for doing what I done, then make sure the next person gets that. Make sure the next person gets that. Like, make it all fair and correct. But personally, I don't think it was fair, but it is what it is. I can't change nothing now. There's no point in me focusing on if it's fair or not, because that doesn't help no situation.
Yeah. I think it's possible to take responsibility for your actions.
100%.
Say, I did that. But
100%.
Also to think that it was unfair because I think maybe rightly so, they are making an example of you, because those lower league players, it would never send a message, would it?
You're correct.
So with the big wages and the big status and the popularity and all the upsides comes this other thing, which is like bigger sanctions, bigger publicity, bigger...
It's more of a talking point and more of a story. But...
And I tell you what, you go out there and you start bagging goals.
Yeah,
ain't nobody going to be talking about anything else.
That's another reason I want to be scoring goals, to put things right and let people talk about my goal scoring rather than rubbish past.
I think you're gonna go back to Brentford, and I think you're gonna fucking tear it up. Because I sense a real deep drive in you that I've not seen in many people. A real sense of like self-belief and conviction. Even what you were saying about the penalties there. Like, I played at Soccer Aid and they came over to me and asked me if I wanted a penalty, and I went to the back of the group. I swerved that so hard. I got injured before the game at Old Trafford, but I was playing in training and we had to do a penalty shootout. Poch was the manager, and I just said to myself, Steve, step forward and take one. And this was to decide who got which dressing room. I took one, I scored it, and then the next day I pulled my hamstring, got a grade 3 tear. But I was proud of myself for stepping up and doing it.
Yeah. That's the main thing. I think if you have in your head, I'm going to do this, you have a better chance of thinking, what is this? There's no point thinking that. Like, even with back yourself 100%. Like, even with strikers I've played with, like, especially strikers I play with now, like, because I'll say his name, Brian, because he knows he's like my little brother. I say to him, like, when he misses a chance, he gets so angry with himself. I say, bro, it's fine. You're not a robot. You can miss chances. When the next chance comes, you'll score. And he's got a lot better at that, and he's been scoring. So I think just don't dwell on things.
But you've got a big chance coming up, January.
Yes.
And I hope you score.
I will. I know I do well, and like you said, this is just another hurdle in my bumpy road, but it's all good. It could be worse.
Ivan, thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the inspiration you've given me. I feel like I understand you. And listen, we all make mistakes in life. I think it's really important. We've all made mistakes. I make so many mistakes. I think yours are obviously more publicly broadcast because of who you are and you're at the top of the game. You're the peak of your powers. But I think it's important, as you said, that you take responsibility for it, you move on, and you let the football do the talking. And I think that's exactly what you have done. And that's what I'm really excited to see from you going forward, as I said, because you're special. You've got a very special talent. You've got a very special mentality and a very special talent to match it. And we can't let that go to waste. No, so we need to...
It won't go to waste for sure. Some of the people around me, they won't allow it to go to waste. So.
Good. Thank you so much for your time, bro. It means a lot to me that you came here and spoke to me, and I'm a big fan, and I really do hope you end up at Manchester United one day.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks. It's been good. It's been good to talk through things, and maybe this can help the next person if they was to think twice on doing certain things, or maybe to open up about certain things. So yeah, it's good. Thanks for having me, like I said.